All right, so today I'm talking about the Knicks, and the Knicks are rolling, winning their last 8 games, and they currently have the longest winning streak in the NBA. And I'm not going to say it's all due to Julius Randle, but I got to give him his props in today's video. So Julius Randle has scored over 30 points in 6 of their last 8 games and over 25 points in 6 of these games. And he is the front runner for most improved player. I think Jeremy Grant also had a shot earlier in the season, but Julius Randle has completely taken that title from him, and he is currently the front runner for it, and I'm sure he's going to win. But I'm also sure that he and Knicks fans aren't really hyped about individual accolades, and they're looking forward to the playoffs and seeing how far they can make it into the playoffs. So the playoffs have been a rare occurrence for the Knicks these past few years, with their last appearance in the 2012-2013 season where they lost to the Pacers. Yeah, that's the year that J.R. Smith won the Sixth Man of the Year. And they've been out of the playoffs for nearly 7 years. To see them at the 4th seed currently is crazy. I mean, I live close to the New York area, and people really don't care about the Nets here. I know they have KD, Kyrie, and James, but we have Bullock, Randle, and Barrett. That's our big three. And I want to talk more in depth about Julius Randle and his impact on the Knicks this season. So the Knicks, I think, were projected to be barely over 500. No one really had them making the playoffs this year. But like I said earlier, they're the current 4th seed, and that's fueled by their 8-game winning streak. Not to mention, I think they're 10-0 or 11-0 against the spread if you're a betting person like I am. And I don't know if they can hold on to that 4th place seeding, but the East, especially after that 3rd seed, is up for grabs, basically. I mean, we know that Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia are going to be the 3 top seeds in the East, but pretty much from 4 to 8, anything can happen. But hopefully the Knicks can hold on to either the 4th or the 5th seed, because if they can, their potential matchup would be against the Hawks, who they just defeated in overtime. I know that the Hawks lost Trae Young in the 3rd quarter. He landed awkwardly, and it seemed like he was in a great deal of pain, but it looks like he'll be all right, and it wasn't that big of an injury, so that's good news. And if they somehow get home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs, that'll be amazing for New York too. And they'll be playing a team like the Atlanta Hawks, or maybe another team that could sneak into 5th. So I think they have a pretty good chance of winning the 4th seed or the 5th seed. But the other 2 teams, like I mentioned, one of them being the Hawks and the other being the Celtics, who are pretty much on a roll as of recently. They just beat Phoenix and have been playing really well since the All-Star break. With the current projections for the playoffs, the Heat and the Hornets are, I think, the 7th and the 8th seeds last time I checked. And if they make it through, I think it'll be a good sight for the Knicks, because I think if they beat the Hawks, they might play the 76ers in the 2nd round if everything stays the same. And I think they have a pretty good chance against Philly, but I don't expect them to beat Philly, because Philly has great depth, excellent perimeter defense, and they have one of the best big threes in the league. Even if the Knicks only make it to the conference semifinal, I think that's a great sign for the future of the franchise and their fans. Really, all they need to do is sign one more key piece to the team, and that team is a playoff contender for years to come. And hopefully Julius Randle gets like a supermax or a supermax, because that dude deserves it. He's been balling this year. Just dropped 40 and 10. He just got a win against a playoff team. And I can't give all the credit to Julius Randle, even though he's been the major igniter of this team. He's been the one that's driving these wins and really getting the most out of his teammates. I also got to give credit to Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickley, Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, because they've all come together and really embraced their roles in New York. So talking more about RJ Barrett, I mean, this dude plays like he doesn't care in the first half, drops like 3 points, and then the second half comes back and for some reason just scores 20, and that's apparently been working for the Knicks. So if he can just keep doing that, I think they'll be fine. And it seems like everyone that leaves the Pistons, like Blake, are just re-energized and are playing like they were playing at one point in their primes. Because Blake wasn't really dunking on the Pistons like he was when he was on the Clippers. And Derrick Rose wasn't really Derrick Rosen when he was on the Pistons either. But now he's doing some of his vintage moves. You see a lot of tough contests, tough buckets from him. And it's just good to see him ball out. You see him get the MVP chance also, along with Julius Randle in the Garden. I just like the Knicks fans embracing this team and the city of New York really coming together for this team. It's just been really fun to watch. And with how weak the East looks compared to the West, I think they could pretty much make it at least to the second round of the playoffs, and they could even exceed my expectations and make it even further this year. But I mean, like I said before, making it that far is more than enough for Knicks fans and the city of New York. So I look forward to watching Julius play under the spotlight and seeing him ball out when all the eyes are on him. And I'm just looking forward to the playoffs and seeing the Knicks in the playoffs after so many years.